Welcome back to Valley Life and Wells Fargo Fridays. And I tell you what, these seats right here have got your name on them because I'm sitting in the boardroom in the United Way, and there are some great volunteers at Wells Fargo that have jumped in with the United Way, and we're going to get a little more information right now on what that entails and how you can even jump in and help if you'd like. Mr. Michael Alexander, how are you, sir?
Very good, thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm fabulous. Now, you are the the president of the Fresno County area?
That's right, president of the United Way, Fresno County.
Okay. Miss Michelle Mercado, how are you?
Great, thank you.
Good. Now, you are a volunteer now that have kind of chosen the United Way as your specialty with Wells Fargo, and being a volunteer, you said, you know what, this is the one near and dear to me, and this is what you've chosen then as your charity.
That's right, absolutely.
And you're not just a volunteer, you also sit on the board.
I do. I sit on the board with United Way Fresno County, and I've been working with Michael for about a whole 2 months now.
Okay. Michael, we've heard a lot about the United Way, amazing in the communities all across the country. But more specifically, what happens here local in Fresno County, and how does United Way get involved in and really help our people here in our community?
Well, we work with all of our community agencies, nonprofits that are providing services. As you probably know, the Fresno County is one of the most economic impacted in the country. We have a lot of people that aren't working. The poverty level is very high. And so what we do is working with our donors and our volunteers and organizations like Wells Fargo, we really reach out to those people through those organizations to see how we can help them. So it's really looking at the needs of the community and supporting those needs, working with our partners.
And in your assessment then of the needs of the community, then how do those dollars go into actual effect, and which different programs then are those dollars allocated to help people?
Well, we have what we call the Impact Initiative, and it deals with the education, finance, and health of our community. So it's different than we used to be, and it's really to work with the organizations and the volunteers and the donors to make sure that we're making an impact in our community. Yeah. So education, trying to make sure kids are progressing through their grades and not dropping out. Also looking at the dropout rate, we work with Mayor Swearigan on that. She's very committed to this whole process. And then we also, in the financial area where Wells Fargo has been outstanding as a partner with us, we look at VITA, which is income tax assistance. We also look on Bank on Fresno, which allows people not to have to go to check cashing places, but get checking and savings accounts set up. And then we're opening up very shortly the Spark Point Center, which will allow us to give financial counseling, plus the VITA work for tax returns, and also Bank on Fresno. So it's really tying the community in. And then healthcare, we're really working on making sure that our kids are exercising, eating well, because we have a diabetes problem, right, which is really caused by obesity problem in our county.
Well, Michelle, you get to play the important role of sitting on both sides. In working for Wells Fargo as a store manager, you kind of see how your company then gets involved, takes the money, then you sit on the board side over here, and you get to have a direct impact as to how those dollars are spent.
Yes, it's very exciting. Wells Fargo does a great job, and it encourages all of its team members to get involved in the communities that we live in. And the thing that caught my eye about the United Way is how proactive the organization is. They do an incredible job of identifying and working through whatever the pressing issues are in the community, and just incredibly proactive and working with a diverse group of partners within the community to help achieve whatever the needs are during whatever the time period is.
Sure. And Michael, you really have an impact on people because your dollars go so far when you give to the United Way, because you also incorporate the other groups. So now whatever money they've raised individually, plus with the United Way's impact, it's almost, you know, the bigger bang for your buck.
That's right. We're also working with the nonprofits to make sure we don't duplicate services, because that's the last thing the donors want, is to have multiple agencies doing the same thing. So there's an initiative going on with the Business Council of how do we really bring all the nonprofits together, really look at what is your key focus and your expertise, and really work on that, and let the other ones deal with the other issues. So that's a big initiative just at the beginning, but I think we'll make some progress on that.
Sure. And then also dealing, you know, hands-on, one-on-one with the mayor too. You've got a direct impact as to how that economic development then is going to improve, taking your dollars now and saying, you know what, we really need it in this sector, because you've got feet on the ground that are actually seeing where the needs needs are.
Yeah, the mayor has been just a great partner, not only with us, but all the nonprofits. She's very committed to Fresno County and to Fresno itself as the mayor, and it's really exciting to see her energy level, but her commitment. During these very difficult times for her and the board trying to figure out how do we balance the budget, but she doesn't give up on her commitment. It's sort of like Michelle. As you look at the whole issue of where Wells Fargo is going, they allow all these volunteers to come, and for Michelle, she's not only on our board, she heads our new audit committee. She's also on our Impact Council and Financial Stability as a co-chair. Okay. So we can't survive without donors, but we really can't survive without volunteers that really support us. And Wells Fargo and Michelle are just examples of that.
Well, if you two have a few more minutes, I want to come back and ask you some more questions right after these commercials, but I'm going to turn to break real quick. You got a second to stay with me?
Sure, that'd be great.
Appreciate it. There'll be more Valley Life coming up right after this.